Good morning, children. Today we are going to study the fourth chapter of Political Science. The name of the chapter is Growing Up as Boys and Girls. Today, if we look into the society, we can see boys and girls walk together, they play together, study together, and walk everywhere in the society. But there was a time in which the boys and girls were separated. They were not allowed to walk together, they were not allowed to study, or they were not allowed to travel. And there was discrimination between boys and girls. Boys did all the work they like, but girls were allowed only to do the household works. But today the situation is totally different. Boys and girls are now able to do all the work they like. There is no discrimination. So, in this chapter, we are going to study the changes that came in the relation between boys and girls. Here, in your textbook, page number 45, there is a story from Soma Island. Okay, it is a time of 1920. During this period, in Soma, it is an island in Pacific Ocean. Here, the boys or the child were not allowed to go to school. Boys and girl child were not allowed to go to school. Instead, they were learned or they were taught to look after all the household work. Okay, the girls when they are child, they were learned to look after all the household works. At the same time, the boys were taught to see or do the outside work. So they are not allowed to go to school. Now, what are the works girls were doing in Soma Island? When they are child, they will look after the children. Okay, when they have young ones, they have young brothers, and these small children will look after the younger sister and brothers. Then the boys will help the fathers in fishing. Okay, and when they are 9 years old or above, they will go to the sea to catch the fishes. Okay, so this is the story of Soma Island. Okay, in Soma Island, when the children are small, they are not allowed to go to school. Instead, they did the household work. Then let us see in Madhya Pradesh during the time of 1960s. So this is a story I am going to say. It is happened in Madhya Pradesh during the time of 1960. During this time, the girls and the boys had separate schools. Boys had one school and the girls had another one school. In the girls' school, there was a big garden, and after the class, the girls were only allowed to sit in the garden and talk. They were protected from other people from outside. They were not seen by other people from outside. But instead, the boys' school, there was a small garden, and the boys were free to walk everywhere, and they were playing different games. Okay, so this story says that in early times there was discrimination between boys and girls. Okay, immediately after the schools in the school, after the class in the school, the girl will directly go to their houses. But the boys were free to wander in the roads, looking the side whatever happens in the roadsides. Okay, so here the girls were grown in a controlled atmosphere, but boys were free to do whatever they like. So this was the condition of boys and girls in Madhya Pradesh during 1960s. So children, now again one more thing. As you know, the girls are doing so many work. Our mother, you know, your mother and your sisters are doing so many work in your houses. But their work is not valued. Their work is not given money. They are doing a lot of money. Your mother is getting up 5 o'clock and works till 10 o'clock, night 10 o'clock or more, but they are not given any money. Okay, so from this chapter we understand that the women are working in the houses, but their work is not valued or their work is not paid. Okay, now what are the works done by the women, children, or what are the works done by your mother? Yes, cooking, washing the clothes, planting the trees, cleaning the houses, cooking the food, looking after your sisters and brothers, okay, and looking after your old parents. So these are the works they are doing, but their work is not at paid. Okay, same condition, children, there are a lot of domestic workers, okay, servants, domestic servants. The women are doing a lot of domestic works. They go to others' house and cook food, wash clothes, but their work is also not valued. Okay, they are paid very less. Okay, they eat less food. Okay, example here you can see two stories are given in your textbook. Okay, one is Hermit mother. Hermit mother is also housewife. She is not going for outside work. Okay, but she is doing so many works in her houses. Okay, and another one is domestic worker is Melanie, one girl. Okay, she gets up 5 o'clock. Melanie lives in Delhi. She gets up 5 o'clock. Okay, and night till evenings he works, continuously working. Okay, in others' house, and eats very less food that is given by the house owner. But she is also paid very less. So from this we understand that women are doing many work, but their work is not much valued. Okay. Now, children, as a result, what happened? Nowadays, the women strike. Okay, they made strikes against the government. Now today they are also equally with the men. Okay, so from this chapter, what we conclude is that in early times there was a disparity or discrimination between boys and girls. Whatever work is boys doing, the girls were not allowed. Okay. The women are doing many work, household work, but they were paid very less. Then finally now the women started strike. Okay, they made movements. So now the work of men and women are equally valued. Whatever work, the same work is done by men and women are paid equally. Okay, this is the end of the class. Thank you.